Greetings. I've challenged. There's a challenge I gave to Story County, Iowa Supervisor Latifah Faisal about a couple months ago, I think, and I've challenged her on Facebook a few times and tagged her, so she knows of this challenge. And I've done it several times over the past month, and she is running away from me. I just finished another essay. I'll link to them, read them in order if you want all the data on this. From Jimmy Carter, I ran the numbers for Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barry Oboingo, and Donald Trump. The percentage of unemployed who were unemployed 27 weeks or more, the percentage of unemployed per 100,000 non-farm jobs, and things like that, which will give you an idea. My point is the Biden economy is going to suck, but I think Latifah Faisal's okay with that as long as she can pay people to do nothing. She'll say, if you vote Democrat, we will pay you to do nothing. So it doesn't really bother her when that happens. Plus, I don't think she's bright enough to debate this anyways. But here was the challenge that I did in another article where I ran data on several states, the lockdowns versus the non-lockdowns, like California versus Iowa, North Dakota, South Dakota, New York, and New Jersey. The percentage of people with unemployed continued claims per 100,000 non-farm jobs. The 2-year average prior to the pandemic, and the year of the pandemic from early March or mid-March 2020 to mid-March 2021. And you'll find out that Democrat states are paying a lot more people to be unemployed. So what was it, the old adage? If you pay people not to work and tax them when they do, guess what? But anyways, Latifah Faisal, I think, is okay with as many people being unemployed as possible. She wants to turn Iowa into California, because then that'll be, pardon my phone, because that'll be in her best interest, because then she can consolidate power. I mean, there'll be nobody working to pay them, but, as many people as they can get out of the labor force, they can. I also covered labor force participation rates. Black labor force participation rates, it was higher under Trump than it was Obama. A lot of black people exited the labor force under Obama. That will continue. That will resume under Biden. But now with that all said, sorry for the spiel. I just wanted to give you guys some background. I ran a lot of numbers. It'll give you a lot of ammo against the autistics who insist that, the Biden economy is doing great. No. Make sure if you read those, pay attention to everything I say. But here was the challenge. The African American labor force participation rate and the labor force participation rate in mass for men 25 to 54, we can throw that in. But the African American, or black, if you prefer that term, labor force participation rate will continue to go down, and more importantly, will be lower during fiscal year 2022 and fiscal year 2023 than it was from fiscal 2018 to fiscal year 2020 under Donald Trump. I compared pre-pandemic and post-pandemic data as well. The lockdowns hurt African Americans or blacks more than they did whites. Under the Biden administration, you will see more blacks leave the labor force, and it will be an economic disaster. So if you get in the $15 an hour minimum wage and bringing all this unskilled labor in from all over the place, any unskilled black kid that dropped out of high school, enjoy being unemployed forever, because uneducated African Americans who did drop out of school, if you're trying to make it, I wanted to let you know you're being replaced by the Democrat Party. You are being replaced with a tsunami over the southern border. So I just wanted you to know that. But Latifah Faisal won't take that bet because she knows the Biden economy is going to stink, and I think she's okay with that, as long as she's paying people not to work. Of course, like Margaret Thatcher said, sooner or later you run out of other people's money, and we've been out of it for a long time. I did want to mention another thing as an aside. I was getting screenshots off her personal Facebook page the other day, and I took a bunch of them just in case it goes bye-bye or she blocks me to where I can't look at it. I can always find a friend with an account that I can look at it, though. But I was scanning through it, and I never saw her mention the Constitution one time. I went back a couple years in her yammering, and she never mentioned the Constitution. I didn't see it. She can correct me if I'm wrong. Latifah Faisal, I don't think she's ever read the Constitution. I don't think she understands the Constitution. She literally thinks if you get a 50-50 deadlock in the Senate and a tie-breaking vote from the vice president and 218 votes in the House, she probably literally thinks she can pass anything. So she never mentioned the Constitution. I don't think she's read it, and I don't think she's understands it. That's why when you bring people in this country, there has to be merit, and they have to understand and honor the Constitution. Otherwise, you're just bringing people in that are going to wreck the place. And I think that's why they're getting rid of busts of Thomas Jefferson in New York City. They plan to erase the Constitution, and they've done a fine job of it anyway, just completely ignoring it. So I'm wondering, eventually, there's going to be a reckoning, as who was it that said that? Doc Holliday in Tombstone. There's going to be a reckoning. So, but yeah, Latifah Faisal doesn't understand the Constitution, doesn't read it, has never read it, won't read it probably, and never mentions it on her Facebook page. And she did not take this challenge after I gave it to her several times. She's running scared. Like I said, elect people like her if you want people to be paid not to work and you want an economic disaster. Have a nice day, and you've been warned.